Let's have a look now at dividing algebraic terms. It's very similar to multiplying algebraic terms. In fact, basically just replace the word multiply with divide and the rules are effectively the same. So let's have a look at the rules. So the first point is that we divide the numbers first, then we divide the variables. We express your answer in fraction form. Okay, so where necessary or where there's a fraction involved, keep it in fraction form, do not convert it into decimal. And the last point is that we follow BIDMAS, okay, for expressions involving mixed operations. So anything that involves, the multiplication and addition, you do the multiplication first, and then you worry about the addition later. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. So the first one, okay, we're going to simplify all these expressions. 30ab divided by 5a. Okay, now I'm going to convert this into fraction form first because sometimes it's a little bit easier to look at it as a fraction. So 30ab divided by 5a, the 30ab is the numerator, 5a is the denominator. Okay. Then what we do is we divide the numbers. So 30 over 5, okay, is just 6. Now ab over a, where you find matching pronumerals between the numerator and the denominator, okay, you can just cross them off. So that a and that a disappears, and you're left with just the b in the numerator on its own. And so the answer is 6b. Let's have a look at part B. 12x squared y divided by negative 3x. So what I'm going to do with this one though, I'm going to expand the x squared. Okay, and again, it's just going to make it a little bit more apparent as to what I'm going to do next. Okay, so rather than writing it as x squared, I'm going to write it as x times x. So just x and y over negative 3x. So that's divided by negative 3x. Okay. Let's divide the numbers. So 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Now look for matching pronumerals, numerator and denominator. Now you can see that we can match one of the x's in the numerator with an x in the denominator. Okay, and you can cross them off. So what we're left with is an xy. Okay, so the simplified expression is negative 4xy. 24ac over 18bc. Now this one, simplifying the fraction, okay, this one won't give you a whole number, okay. So 24 over 18, if you want, you can divide top and bottom by 2 if you want to do it in multiple steps. This is without a calculator, or you can see that both 24 and 18 can be divided by 6. So that actually gives you 4 over 3. Okay, so if you divide that by 6 and you can divide the 18 by 6, you get 4 over 3. Now look for matching pronumerals, okay, numerator, denominator. We can see that there's the variable c in the numerator and the variable c in the denominator. Sometimes I use the word variable and pronumeral interchangeably. Basically, in this video, it means the same thing. Okay, we can cross the c's off and we're left with an a in the numerator and a b in the denominator. Okay. Let's have a look at part D. So part D, in fact, E and F are just highlighting BIDMAS. Okay, because sometimes we can have an expression that involves mixed operations. So the first one involves an addition and a multiplication. Okay, so the first thing we do is we're going to apply BIDMAS first. Okay, so 20x plus 3x times 2. So we multiply the 3x by 2, and that gives you 6x. Finally, we just add the 2, and we can just collect the like terms or combine the like terms. So 20x plus 6x is 26x. Okay. Part E, 10m divided by 2 minus 20m divided by 4. Okay, now we do the divisions first from left to right. So 10m divided by 2, okay, that's 5m, minus, now 20m divided by 4, we'll do that next, that's 5m as well. Okay, 5m minus 5m is 0. Okay, and the last example, 2wx multiplied by negative 6x divided by 3w. Okay, starting off with a multiplication and then a division. We just go from left to right because multiplication and division have the same, basically the same order in BIDMAS. Okay, so the same level of priority. Okay, so let's just multiply the first two terms together. So 2wx times negative 6x, okay, is equal to negative 12w x squared. Okay, we try and write the variables in alphabetical order if we can. Okay, and divided by 3w, of course. Okay, next step. Okay, we can express this as a fraction, so that's negative 12w. Now x squared, I'm going to write it as xx again. Okay, you don't have to do this. So for those of you that know the index laws, it's easy enough, I guess, to apply the index laws directly. But for those of you that are not familiar with the index laws, it's another nice way to see why you do all this crossing off stuff, I guess, and why it works. So over 3w, okay, divide the numbers. So negative 12 divided by 3, well, that's going to give you a whole number. So that's going to give you negative 4. Okay. Now, the w's actually get crossed off. So there's, in fact, the w's disappear altogether. You're left with xx, in fact. So that doesn't change. But rather than writing it like that, we can write it using index form again. So bring it back to squared or to index notation. So negative 4x squared would be the solution there.